Hello, Blizzard fans! This is FalconPaladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between MarkTeufel and CoraZ on Moonlight Madness, the latter edition. There sure is a lot of lava around the edges of Moonlight Madness, and in the middle, and little tiny pools in the very center. Not sure if I've ever noticed that before, because it's very dimmed when you're actually in the game. Alright. Let's get this started and stop admiring the scenery. In the bottom left of Moonlight Madness, the latter edition, we have the red Zerg player. It is MarkTeufel. And in the top right of Moonlight Madness, the latter edition, we have the blue Protoss player. It is CoraZ. So PvZ, this is on the latest patch of Legacy of the Void. So you will notice there is no Chrono Boost available. Nope, no Chrono Boost here. The queens that pop out will inject automatically and all that other fun stuff that we expect to see. The other big change for Protoss is, I guess the Disruptor changed as well, more like a Reaver. But the other thing is that pylons need to be kind of spaced out, because pylons that are touching buildings do things different from pylons that are alone, like up here, as far as warping in units go. So we'll watch that a little bit more closely, see how that comes into play in the game. I'm not sure it's entirely game-changing, but it is something some Protoss players have made note of on the streams that I've been watching, and we'll have to see how it plays out in these particular matches. We are going spawning pool, so extractor into spawning pool. This is what I like to do against Protoss players, and then get that hatch, just because if you are cannoned out, it's a little bit late. You should have Zerglings out to deal with it fairly quickly. At the same time, we're also following that probe around. We don't want it to plant any pylons or cannons in the base. Again, exactly how I like to play it, just because I've been cannoned out one too many times, and it makes me very sad. So, interestingly enough, CoraZ taking, yep, there we go, taking the expansion here a little bit early. Was that? Oh, so a Forge fast expand here with the Forge on the high ground for CoraZ. I'm not sure why I want that Forge, unless it's for base defense, trying to wall this off, but get a cannon behind here, as we have seen from times past. Gateway coming up, helping with the wall. This drone actually catches the probe in the corner a little bit, gets a hit off. Another hit off there. Now it's trapped, though. It's got two probes killing it. Run away! And the probe escapes with its life to tell its tale back home to the brood mother. We're actually going instantly lair. Holy smokes. Insta-lair here, the 2-minute mark for MarkTeufel. I've seen this before on my channel, but basically it was a one-base lurker play that somebody tried against Protoss. It didn't work out super duper well. And at the same time, there's a Roach Warren, so I don't think we're going to see lurkers here, although we do have a lot of workers on gas right now, 6 total. Here at the 2-minute and 20-second mark, Protoss only has the 1 assimilator, and there's nobody on it. Just kidding, there's 3. Waited for me to say that and then put 3 on the assimilator, greatly embarrassing me in the process. Either way, hatchery is up very happily, but no queens. I mean, I know that queens aren't as good as they used to be. They don't spawn as many larvae. It's 2 instead of 4 per injection is what I understand how things work right now. But double Roach Warren. Are we going for a Burrow Roach play here? Oh, he absolutely might be. I'm not sure if it's going to work, though, because, again, there's a Forge and there are cannons, which can detect these sorts of things. Cannon right here is perfectly placed for CoraZ to prevent that kind of shenanigans. At the same time, the Photon Cannon is a little bit too close to this wall, though. I think Roach is sitting back here, can actually reach this guy and snipe it down pretty quick. So, do you get a kill for that? No, you don't get a kill for killing the destructible plates at the bottom of your ramp. Little lessons from FalconPaladin. I don't even know why this hatchery exists. There's a single drone on it. I guess we're using it for the larva at this point. Okay, now we're transferring some drones over to the mine over there. That's very good. The lair is up. What are we doing with it? Yeah, tunneling claws being researched, as well as glial reconstitution and burrow all at the same time for Teufel. This is exactly what the plan is, to go for those burrow roaches, catch the Protoss player off guard. You think you're safe behind this wall, but roaches can actually burrow here. Another cannon coming up. This CoraZ is the most defensive, paranoid-minded Protoss I have seen in a long time, and it's perfect, because that's exactly what Cora needs to do here, is actually have cannons to deal with those burrow move roaches. Having one here is nice as well. Maybe one over here would be good. It just matters, I guess it depends on how many roaches you have. Can you kind of one-shot cannons, or is it kind of a matter of you're going to get shot and the whole group's going to die before they actually get under here or not? Either way, there are some adepts. They do terribly against roaches. Also some zealots that do terribly against roaches. Roaches are starting to move out across the map in 1s and 2s. I'm not sure if we timed the ability to spawn larvae properly. I guess because we don't have any queens, that's a bit of a problem. But 2 queens are now on the way. You're going to watch this. Da-da-da! Spawn inject! Done. And, oh, I guess this is a little bit farther away. But anyway, we do have a battle up here. We have some roaches going against Adepts. There's the burrow move, though. Oh, boy. CoraZ knows they are in trouble. For sure. What's the answer going to be back at home? MarkTeufel has revealed his hand. He's going for that burrow move, Roach. Going to try to get up here and going to try to take down this cannon. But there are two of them. Ah, one of them ends up dead. Ooh, other one barely escapes with its life. I'm going to die anyway to the Zealots. Zealots extending a little bit too far. You don't want to get out here against these roaches. They can kite you all day long and snipe you right to the ground. Exactly like that, your body will die. The roaches are trying to get up this ramp, but again, there's another cannon. So many roaches are dying before they get out of range, and whew, actually 3 of them are still alive. So 3 of them get up here. They start to snipe down these probes. These Adepts do little damage to the roaches. There's nothing needed to worry about here. So the burrow move action is real here, ladies and gentlemen. Probes are dying left and right. We are down to 4 total that have been lost. 3 roaches have died in the fight as well, though. But look at this. Just, oh, so darn annoying right now for CoraZ to deal with. The roaches, when they're burrowed, also have accelerated healing. So look at this. They're already back up to full health. Oh, but there's the Observer popping out just in time to deal with these burrowed roaches. I think that's the end of the harassment for now. They're going to try to get 1 or 2 more probes before they end up dead. 1 probe does die, and 1 more probe might die as well. Yeah, actually 2 probes there. I think unnecessarily. And 1 more? No. All right, so total number of probes that have died is 8 in exchange for 6 roaches. I mean, one thing that's new about this latest patch that actually QXC has talked about on Team Liquid is the idea that harassment of worker lines is way more important than it used to be. Because if you lose a bunch of workers, you can't just chrono boost out new ones. You can't just drop a bunch of mules. You can't throw down injects and make 18 drones at the same time to replace the ones that you lost. It actually takes time to replace workers on this worker line. As you can see, this is not being chrono boosted. It is very slow to replace. And right now it's 43 to 33 harvesters. So CoraZ is actually ahead. So not too hurt too much by that attack. I'd have to say that was probably a failure on the part of MarkTeufel, to be entirely honest. But at the same time, not hurt too much. Probably should have a 3rd base by now, though. But at the same time, we do have a lurker den popping down. That should help things quite a bit. There's already an observer on the field, which is definitely in CoraZ's favor. And I'm going to see how this works out for them. Pushing across the map with some stalkers, some adepts, and 2 observers. Because, man, we don't want to die to burrow roaches at all. The observers should probably be in front if that's what we're dealing with here. But, oh my gosh, what is that? 6 total lurkers are morphing at this front door. I don't think CoraZ can break this. I really don't. That is just too much. They do that extra damage to armored, which is what stalkers are. They get burned apart immediately. Adepts just don't do enough damage to lurkers to really matter. And zealots just don't have enough HP to deal with it. So not a great composition against lurkers right now, but here we come. Actually, on the offensive is Mark. Here before the 8-minute mark, we've gone burrow, roach, harass into full lurker, roach, hydra attack. And how's this going to work for our friend CoraZ? I don't know. Oh, the zealots have charge. That's pretty good, but there's the burrow, and the spines are tearing through everything. And actually, the lurkers going down themselves. Some pretty good target firing here from Cora, trying to take down all these lurkers, moving as well to dodge the spine attacks. And yes, all the lurkers get cleaned up. Nice job there by Cora. Good micro. Well played indeed. Actually chasing the remainder of these units. More roaches coming up, trying to kill things as they can. But that charge is just so strong for the zealots. It does 30 damage to what it hits initially after the charge. And then also they do a lot of damage with their side blades because they're zealots. And that's what they do. So here we go. Are they going to chase up the ramp? Not really. They're going to regroup with the rest of the army, and a 3rd base is now coming down for MarkTeufel. A little bit late because the 3rd base is already up. Wow, for CoraZ. So definitely playing on the back foot right now is our Zerg player. Roach is trying to kill stuff, but man, this is a lot. That charge is super important for Zealots. Look at this. 30 damage to the charge target, and they also have the +1 attack, making them do 9 damage times 2 because they have 2 attacks with their side blades for 18. So 30 plus 18 is 48 damage. When they get up in your face like that, roaches only have 145 hit points. So that's like a 1/3 of their health. I guess closer to a 1/4 of their health that goes down when a zealot hits them like that. So maybe not as much as I thought, but still. It's definitely something you want to avoid if you are a Zerg player. MarkTeufel, again, that 3rd base on the way. A little bit late. I'd be watching this like crazy if I was him right now. Waiting so hard for it to finish. Not going to happen anytime soon. This blink research takes literally forever. 121 seconds without chrono boost is like, I'm going to start it now. I'm going to have 2 major battles, and then it's going to be done. Possibly. I'll have to come back and check it. But a little bit of a battle here on the front lines, burrowing the roaches that are getting hit to try to keep them alive. Where are the observers? There they are. Observers are here, but roaches and hydras and lurkers are part of this attack. The lurkers doing a great job from their range of 9. I want to say it is range of 9. So basically siege weapons. that attack only ground and hit like trucks against armored, which is exactly what CoraZ is dealing with right now. Pretty stalker-heavy composition. Observer coming back just to check things out. Another observer. How many observers do we have on the map right now? We have 3, so 3 total. It is 66 to 38 harvesters. CoraZ has had a major macro advantage right now. Did we accidentally kill one of our own lurkers? We did. The roaches target fired their own lurker, and it died, unfortunately, for that lurker. Not looking so well for the Zerg army again, but again, Roach's Hydra's pretty good. Hydra's especially, if they can just sit back there and attack with that +1 upgrade, it's 13 damage. Weapon speed 0.54. They hit like trucks and super fast. Hydras, not Hydras, Stalkers have an attack of 11 and a 1.03, so twice as slow as Hydras are the Stalkers, which again, Hydras are less tanky, but if you can keep them protected by Roaches, they do pretty well. So there we go. Again, Zealot melting in the front door. Observer just checking things out. We are going for it, man. MarkTeufel is not messing around. Taking down that cannon is so tired of the detection that cannon's been providing. Never mind. Instead, trying to go for something else. I don't know what. And the Lurker's doing a pretty good job of everything. But they're exposed now. Everything comes in. The Adepts, the Stalkers, burning them down. They explode in gouts of blood. All of the Lurkers are going to die. CoraZ hates them so much, but not quite enough to follow up with the rest of everything here. One of the Lurkers does die, but there is still one left. And 2 more are morphing in. Excuse me. Yeah, so again, here come a bunch of charged Zealots right on top of everything. If you don't stutter step micro against these guys, you are going to die. They hit really, really hard, especially with the +2 upgrade. It is up to 10 damage times 2, so 20 damage there. Trying to burrow move away, but one of these guys is going to charge very soon. And there it is! Melts it down. You cannot just stand and fight. You really have to kite against these Zealots. That rhymed. You cannot stand and fight. You just have to kite. Yeah, it's my first rap album from FalconPaladin featuring charged Zealots. 3 bases again up for MarkTeufel. Probably should try and take a 4th, but a lot of this has been very micro-intensive for our Zerg player. Being down 71 to 49 harvesters, I feel like CoraZ should be able to roll at this point. There is pretty big bank here for the Protoss player. 1,000 minerals, about 800 gas. Spending it on a lot of Adepts. Also, Twilight Council researching that shield upgrade for the Adepts as well to make them more viable into the mid-game here. Throwing down 3 pylons at this debris. I'm not sure what the intent of that is. But either way, another attack here in the middle of the map. The Zealots, again, just getting right up in the face of everything, forcing the Zerg player back. There were some corrosive biles there earlier, but that was not really important. The Adepts are trying to prevent the flee or the retreat of the Zerg player. Doing okay at it. Pretty good stutter step, though, here from MarkTeufel, trying to make the most of his units. The Ravagers, the Hydras, actually sniping things down pretty darn well. Are all of the Zealots gone? Nope, one of the Zealots are still alive. And then it gets evaporated by the Hydralisk. Pushing up here with a couple Stalkers and a couple Adepts. I'm not sure this is enough to win the game for the Protoss player, but there's nothing really here to deal with it either. Roaches are about to pop, but they're not here quite yet. We did burrow the Queen to keep her alive. That was a very smart move. Roaches pop up. They try to take out these Adepts first. They're not worried about the Stalker initially. Can we get the Adept before it Sonic transfers away? Yes, we can. These Adepts are a little bit trapped inside, but here come a whole ton of charged Zealots. Again, just going to town on these Roaches. The Roaches sitting on top of the ramp, holding court, holding the spot. The Lurker trying to tear through these guys, but just not doing enough DPS fast enough to actually kill them all. Does have 4 kills, though, which is pretty good. Possibly one more. Yeah, up on 5, and the final Zealot gets killed. There are still some units up here, but they're not really coming into attack quite yet. It is still 3 base to 3 base. Core's done a great job just staying active, moving probes where they need to go. This base isn't mined out yet. Main base just about mined out. Done a good job transferring workers as well. 50 total harvesters on the field. Observer coming in to scout things out. This Queen, that's not a Queen, that's a Lurker. Can't do anything about it because there are observers. These Roaches at the front get melted down immediately. They stood no chance whatsoever. The Lurkers are here, though. The Zealots come in. They don't care at all about the damage from those spines. A couple Archons here as well. Do get chased away by just the sheer number of Roaches on the field. Do we have upgrades coming? No, but Carriers are on the way. So Carriers might be a good answer to this very, very ground attack heavy composition from MarkTeufel. Top of the ramp advantage here for the Archon and the Adepts. The Adepts, again, don't do really well against Roaches because they are armored units. They don't get that bonus to light against them. But here we go. Just back and forth action at the top of this ramp. Zealots dying left and right. How many Zealots have died in this game? It's a lot. 72 Zealots have died in this game. I am not kidding. That is a lot of Zealots to die. I mean, I know they're only minerals, but man, 72 That's 7. Is that 7 times 100? Is that 7,000 minerals that have been spent on zealots that have died so far? That's crazy. Are we long distance mining here? What is going on? Why did we retreat? Oh, we're mined out. Wow, we're mining out really fast for the Protoss player, but here come the carriers. Run away, lurkers! This is not the fight for you. This is not the fight for you either, Mr. Roach and company. Scouting things out are the overseers. You're trying to see what's going on. These cannons might actually kill them if they don't run away. This one doesn't seem like it wants to run away. And nope, stays alive because there are better targets in the form of these roaches and these lurkers. Lurkers burrow right on top of everything. But here come the carriers again. They say, get out of my house. I'm going to shoot you from the air. You cannot shoot back, which is a major problem. What is MarkTeufel going to do in response? Hydras might be pretty good. Carriers, or not carriers, Hydras as well as Corruptors would be a good answer here. The third base does get sniped down by these roaches with the +2 upgrade, doing 20 damage with their acid saliva. These probes are getting killed as they try to escape. A single carrier here trying to kill all of these roaches by itself. Two friends show up. Are there more probes? No probes, don't come over here, don't attack. What are you doing? The roach ball might as well stay here and try to kill those probes, but instead they do manage to retreat. They're a little bit faster than the carriers are. Carriers have a move speed of 2.62, and roaches have the move speed of 4.2, so definitely can outrun those carriers. Third base now coming up. It is now 50 to 44 harvesters. MarkTeufel is actually up, and the mining bases left for the Protoss player is actually 0. Nothing mining here, nothing mining here. Nothing mining here because this nexus is dead. Nothing mining here because there's no nexus here, but there are 100 probes. Core doesn't actually have enough money to make a nexus. Oh no! Gonna try to push it out. Here we go. The Ravagers trying to deal with carriers with corrosive bile. I'm not sure if that's super option or a super great choice just because corrosive bile only does 60 damage and carriers have 100 million hit points, 450 hit points available. But yep, Spire trying to come up. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. I'm gonna be honest with you. Corrosive bile being thrown pretty much at random. From what I can tell, that queen ends up dead. This base is not long for the world. I would actually run, nope, burrowing the probes. The drones is not going to save them for too long because there's an observer here. So they run away instead to mine at this fourth base. And ground army in the form of Archons is going to head out as well. These probes heading out to do some long distance mining of their own. Almost enough for a base there. Our friend CoraZ, but gonna be a while, unfortunately. Carriers just trying to do what they can. Corrosive bile, look at that, just so slow. Oh, they got the observer. I'm not sure how much that matters. How many observers are left on the field? No observers left on the field, so okay. Corrosive bile weakening one of the carriers. That's pretty darn good. Burrowing the Ravagers. Intelligent play here. All right, so MarkTeufel doing the best with what he can. Corrosive bile hitting a lot of stuff, but just not doing enough, I don't think, to actually take these guys down. I'm going to be honest with you. Burrow. Nope. Burrow now. Nope. Just losing Ravagers a little bit too quickly, I think. Look at this. Ravagers falling left and right to this attack. Really tough to see as a Zerg player. There's a single Ravager left. The carrier's going to town here. The Archons took out this base as well. MarkTeufel only has 26 harvesters left. Our placement nexus has been made for CoraZ. It's only a matter of time before things happen there. Mass Spore Crawler and Spine Crawler being created at the final mining base of MarkTeufel. We'll have to see how it works, or if it works at all. The Spire immediately being focused down. Smart play there by CoraZ. All these Overlords trying to escape. They have speed, but it's not quite fast enough. 2-3 of them die. The rest of them, I think, might escape. Nope, one more dies as well. And the other two come to the safety, relative safety of this static defense. So the Spire, I don't think, actually produced anything. If we look at the units tab, no Corruptors on the field, no Mutas either. A lot of Spines and a lot of Spores being created at this base by MarkTeufel. I feel like a bunch of Lings could get up here and wreck this pretty darn quick. I don't think there are really many units at all. MarkTeufel does have 1,200 minerals. Do you have a replacement spawning pool, though? Because this one's going to die very, very soon. And how much larva do we have? Does it show larva count anymore? It does. There's a lot of larva here. That's a lot of Lings you could make. Not many Lings there. We're just making drones, though. We're trying to rebuild the economy for MarkTeufel. Here we go. Hydra Ravager. That's a better composition. Whoa. That Ravager died so fast. And we back out because that is a scary number of carriers. We might want to get a little bit more. And hatchery morphing into a lair here. Replacement spawning pool would be good. I think you need that for stuff. But instead, we're just going to stick with this Hydra Roach composition. We're going to try to get out of his own backyard by killing this debris. It's going to take a while, using corrosive bile on it as well. These Archons are coming in this other side door at the same time with their +2 attack, 31 damage, 43 versus biological. which is everything that Zerg has, obviously. Yikes, carriers come in again. Kind of dissuade our Zerg player from getting out there. The Spore Crawlers, though, I think are enough to keep CoraZ away. They don't really want to get in range of that number of Spore Crawlers because I feel like it would not go well. But actually coming in, losing a few Interceptors. Interceptors are not free. They do cost 25 minerals each. And right now CoraZ is a little bit low on mineral count. We're mining here, but again, look at these. These are glowing mineral fields, which means they're running out of minerals fairly quickly. And taking another base would be a good idea, Cora. I think you have the Zerg player pinned in. Maybe take this base. Or possibly this base, but instead not too interested in doing that. MarkTeufel is moving out, though. Mark is checking for additional bases. Going to check here, not find anything. There's a single carrier here. Might get sniped out. Actually, nope, turns tail and runs. Oh, a huge storm on everything, though. And the Archons come in from behind at the same time, trying to stand and fight as MarkTeufel, but no, that whole expedition got cleaned up real fast and is no more. So CoraZ up 100 to 30 on MarkTeufel. We do have a lot of static defense here, but you never win a game with static defense. Let me tell you what. This extractor is here. It is not bleeding or burning or whatever things do when they are injured because it has full health, because it's not dependent on the creep to be here. It is one of the only Zerg buildings that doesn't need creep to live. I think it's the extractor. I think it's the only one. Anyway, we have carriers. They do have +2 plasma shields. We got the plasma shield upgrade, which is good for these Archons as well, and also good for the carriers. They have a lot of shields at the same time, 150 as well. More and more carriers under production. We're getting Graviton Catapult, Protoss Air Weapons level 1, and Replacement Spawning Pool from MarkTeufel. Kind of on the outside, susceptible to sniping, I think, but at the same time right now, I'm not sure MarkTeufel is too concerned about building placement. He's just trying to win this game. Does have 21 harvesters, but again, a single mining base that is also mining out with these glowing minerals. Yeah, see, there's nothing left here. Gotta take another base soon, and there it is. Replacement Nexus coming up for CoraZ. But here comes the carrier armada, flanked by the 3 Archons that have 15 kills, 15 kills, 12 kills. Yikes. Master level Archons are on their way. Wouldn't it be weird if that actually mattered in StarCraft? Like, the more kills a unit got, the more powerful it was. Something like in like League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm. I don't know. That's probably been floated at Blizzard from time to time, but I don't know how effective it would be. It'd probably mess up a lot of the balance of the game. People would just kind of like get a probe and just try to kill a bunch of workers all at once. In the early game, so it becomes a total hero probe. That'd be awesome. Dropping Hydras. Drop Lords are heading on out. Trying to see what they can do over here at this base. Not much. There's really not much to do. This is the mining base you want to go after, but I'm not sure that MarkTeufel knows about it. Sitting outside the edges of the creep here is CoraZ. And are we just going to kill production buildings? Is that what we're going to do with these? I think he's looking for workers to kill. He's not so concerned about dealing with this production facility of CoraZ. Instead, want to find somewhere where there are probes. This is a good place. There are probes. And actually, he's going to see those guys evacuate. See the direction? Ooh, I don't know. The carriers, again, trying to find a good angle to poke in, but that's just a lot of spores. You're just going to lose interceptors if you come over here, I guess. There we go. Dropping down. A lot of probes are dying right now. Down to 32 probes is our Protoss player, CoraZ, not pulling these guys. A single Zealot comes in, gets melted immediately by these +2 Hydras. And Photon Overcharge pops up. Got to get out of there. Got to run. Oh, try to get inside that Overlord. Couldn't quite do it. The Overlords can get hit by the Photon Overcharge as well, though. Got to get out of that range. Got to save this Overlord. Only a couple more hits before it dies. Oh. Oh. It lost the Overlord that had 3 Hydras in it. 3. That was like 75% of his army. Okay, I guess there are more Hydras down here. But of the attacking army, that was like everything that MarkTeufel had. That hurts so much. Okay, Mothership Core here as well with enough energy for another Photon Overcharge. And there it is. Photon Overcharge comes down. I think this Overlord's going to die or the Hydra's going to die. One of the two very quickly. Hydra dies. And that's it. That's it for the Drop Lord harassment. One more shot. Boof. Overlord explodes and falls to the ground in pieces as well. So we're mined out right now. MarkTeufel is stuck. MarkTeufel is not going to give up, though. MarkTeufel is not the kind of guy that is just going to say, I give up. I refuse to continue any further. He will fight until the very end, my friend. That's what he's going to do. No observers with this army, though. Actually, a little dangerous for CoraZ. I mean, the carriers aren't in danger, obviously, because the lurkers can't shoot up. But at the same time, the Archons are almost kind of taken out of it. They're psionic, though. They're not armored, so I don't think they take the extra damage from the lurkers. It is 24 damage, 36 plus armored. These are not armored. They are psionic units. So that's pretty good for Cora. Cora, again, has this mining base. Also good for our Protoss player. No additional bases available, though. This guy's still mining this mineral patch with 160 minerals left. He'll get it. He'll get it, little guy. No big deal at all. Swooping in again. Did we actually kill a couple lurkers? Looks like we did. Any observers on the field? Yes, there are 2. So, yeah, that's not good for Mark. There we go. Observers in the group now, taking them down immediately, bringing up all of the spore crawlers. Going to burrow them right underneath these carriers, and actually, can they burrow before they die is the question. They're not focusing the carriers. They're trying to get interceptors as well. Never a great strategy. And yeah, all the spore crawlers end up dead. The zealots and the archons doing a great job of that. Additional creep tumors going down. Spine crawlers getting exploded at the same time. Leading the charge are these archons. I'm not sure this is a great place for them to be, but that's it. MarkTeufel is defeated. CoraZ is victorious, and MarkTeufel has left the game, and CoraZ wants to stay here a little while to savor the victory, and then leaves the game as well. So, woo, pretty crazy game there. MarkTeufel's little gamble about burrow move roaches at the beginning did not pay off, mostly because the 3 cannons that CoraZ made for no reason whatsoever. Amazing scouting, you decide. But anyway, in the end, pretty entertaining game. Thank you so much for sending that in today. I really appreciate it, Mark. And until next time, this has been FalconPaladin signing off with yet another daily Blizzard upload. Catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /FalconPaladin. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and as always, you take care of yourself.